Let's just get right into this, and straight away, I heard you guys. I overheard your little conversation with Leo. Tell me more about these scrims, because again, we're seeing so much Novaria ban, and speaking of which, I wanted to bring up the Minotaur, and almost instantly we see the Diggy ban coming up from Occupy.
For me, since they banned Diggy, I think high chance, because they already played Mino, and they played well. So I think they will take it.
Your fun is all that matters.
Maybe in these 3 picks, but for the first pick, they still have Arlot.
They still have Arlot. Why are we leaning towards Arlot? Why aren't we thinking about along the lines of maybe even Yves almost? Because we did see the Farsa ban come out from Occupy as well.
Yeah, because for me, if I were in their position, I would take Arlot, and then I want to give Blacklist their Glue and Faramis. And then for my second and third pick, I will take Mino.
I gotta write this down. Somebody got a pen? I need to write this down. Throw that over to me, because this is great, right? And I'm surprised. Why actually let the Glue over to Edwin? Like, isn't this one of his more signature picks on the weak side of the map? But he can honestly dominate at the same time.
For me,
the power of light and
Glue is not really reliable in this patch, because Arlot has better micro, can macro, and the skills cooldowns much.
Can outplay, can sustain. I totally get you.
Yeah, more to do there. So it looks like they're gonna go for a Kaja first, and I think that throws the Mino out the window. Like no Mino.
Yeah, no. I think they will take for Black. They will take Valentina.
Valentina seems already good. I mean, it's already a good ultimate to steal.
That's a US special.
Then what are they going to pair it up with? Again, every time when I look at a draft, I'm thinking, right, how do you pose the next question to your opponent?
Maybe Fredrin.
Ooh, that's a good shout. Arlot gets picked up from the side of Blacklist International. 89% overall pick and ban rate, but a 50% win rate. Personally, for me, I thought it was going to be higher overall.
Yo, if there's anything Zico knows, it's his old teammate. There's the Fredrin.
He's nailing it. But even for Occupy, instantly carrying as well as Blue.
I think they're so ready about this, because they already picked. So for Blacklist, I think they will Valentina or Eve.
Valentina or Eve. Is this the Coach Ola special? This is how quick Ola is on the trigger. When you guys were working together, just pow, I know it.
Because if like that, it's already planned.
It's already planned. And this is for game number 1 as well. And they're not even the ones who really... I mean, it's a coin toss to see who starts off on the first pick or even the second pick. So preparation-wise, having both covering all the angles?
Speaking of which, before this pick even comes out, Coach Zico, what do you prefer these days in the current metagame, red or blue side?
Your team is
Red side.
Red side. Oh, that's interesting. Because like earlier in the MSC, there was so much like blue dominance, and all of a sudden we were seeing that slow turnaround as the days go by.
Look at this, Coach Zico. They got the answer to the glue. He's gonna blow up that glue. The Faramis.
I think that's. I don't know. It's outdrafted for me.
Is that something Ola didn't see coming? Ola didn't see coming.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, that's a little scary then, right? Coming to the second phase, but we do have a stat here for the Queen herself, right? Both Oh My Venus, Florian, and the Diggy have had 100% win rate during MPL PH Season 11. With that in mind, do you guys think that Florian might actually surface here? Who's the Faramis going to?
For me, I think UA will play Faramis. Or if Valentina is still open, they can still go for Faramis Rome.
That's right. And again, the Florian is still open too, but just the same, there's a lot of flex from Blacklist off of the Faramis alone.
Ooh, Mino ban.
Mino ban, Akai ban. Are they banning away Leo's heroes?
Yeah, I think they will ban Lance.
They will ban Lance on this in the next 10 seconds. Okay, so at least
or
we
Martis.
know. Or Martis, that's also a really good shout. But instead they're going to get rid of Valentina.
I think the UA will play Faramis.
Okay, so that's a telegraph.
Telegraph?
Yep, that's a message.
So UA on this Faramis, that means the supports are still generally open. That does mean that, I don't know, I'm looking at Occupy's position. How do they actually break out of this with their first 3 picks alone and the Faramis into the glue, which is such a terrible matchup? I feel like Occupy got to double down on their pick composition, right? They're just looking for picks all the time and trying to minimize these fights.
Oh.
Blacklist, they can still go for last pick Estes for me.
Oh, Diaz is still out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you think that they're going to play the signature so early on during MSC?
I mean, in the interview, I guess V said that she is going to use it if it's left open, but with the Yeeve being picked up,
Nope.
that means V's on Theramis.
Confirmed. So we're still waiting for Owl's hero. Coach Zico, what does Owl want to play?
Or maybe Claude, Bea. But for Team Occupy, they could still go for Kadita. To partner with Kaja
Yep,
and
blow
counter
up,
Eve.
blow up that Eve. Blow up that
Oh,
Eve.
that's totally right here. But instead, they actually
they
go for the Xavier. Rather interesting taking the Xavier right now because it felt like they want to go for their pickoff composition. And at the very least, with the Xavier, they can try to capitalize on it. Maybe just a little bit more. They got 2 enablers, 1 pickoff. I think it's like okay at the very least, but they can still team fight at the end of the day.
But there's a question here. Coach Zico, is Occupy Throne's lineup not too expensive? That's too much scaling.
Yeah, that's too much. I think they really need to take this on late game.
Take it
Because
slow.
if Blacklist takes the early game, they're done.
Oh, that's risky. But it is game number 1. How do you think they're gonna, just even it out, right? They have 1 more pick.
He can Brody here even.
Yeah.
Just go faster.
Right? Just speed up the early game as soon as possible. Don't even give it an opportunity. But they're going to go with the Beatrix. At the very least, we know that when we see a Yeep and as well as the Beatrix taking down tier 1s, not even an issue half the time. And with the amount of control that they have in that mid lane, ooh, it's looking good. It's looking good.
It definitely could work, right? So, Coach Zico, before you go, which draft do you like better?
I will go for Blacklist.
Blacklist. All right. Thank you so much, Coach Zico, for coming here, shedding some light to us on the caster desk. It's been wonderful perspective coming out from you. And hopefully we get to see you for game 2, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we'll miss you.
But it was fun. I want Zico on the desk more.
I know, right? Producers, help us out here.
Just when we were starting to get comfortable as well. Thank you so much, Coach Zico. I really appreciate having your insights here off the desk. But it's time. Soon we're going to be jumping into this game, and we're going to see both of these teams battle it out, and especially for Occupy Thrones. This is Tournament Lives. It doesn't matter if they drop a single game. They need to win the series.
All or nothing for both Occupy as well as Blacklist as we enter the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Checking out the rotations. It looks like it's a counter start. It's purple for King Wise, and of course orange here for Leo, the 7-foot-tall jungler from Occupy.
The 7-foot-tall jungler? I feel like every single time you bring it up, he adds another foot to his height.
I don't know what they feed him over there.
As we see the early game actually start to pan out, right? We're seeing Occupying Thrones, and especially for Maro, nothing too out of the ordinary, but especially on that top side where Glue is going to be strong into this Arlott matchup. For now, until we start seeing the scaling happen, the information has been scouted out. They know Fredrin is moving towards the bottom side of the map.
Now that's what makes it so curious for me, right? The way that both of these teams are playing, because honestly, if I were Blacklist, I'd probably put most of my bets onto the EXP lane just so Venus can get that level 4 quicker. However, perhaps maybe because, oh, wait a minute,
Here we
something might be
go.
going on.
Down bottom. That's some action started out by Blacks International. Oh, first blood drawn by Leo on King Wise. What just goes on here?
I mean, they snagged him out. Again, Xavier, he's able to capitalize on these small situations. Even though he's not level 4 and he doesn't have that scaling to his name just yet, the follow-up is so very quick. The movement speed you get from his gates, especially when they are enhanced with a wider range, does 2 things at once.
And here we were saying that it was Occupy who needed time.
Yeah, very interesting, but here we go.
Uh-oh.
Leo goes in again.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Look at that. Agent Zero. He's not going to recall. Interesting. Already turtle up.
that was very close. That was very close. And look at them just really wreaking havoc here in the early game and the way that they're able to control this upper side of the map. Look at Alpha, look at Maro, the way that they're positioned. They're trying to zone you away, as well as Venus, so Leo can get this uncontested.
That's 4 men taking it. Clear victory here for Occupy Thrones. And they're gonna oblige. Oh my Venus here, pulling over Leo. spends that retribution, slowing down the Queen. They are deep behind enemy territory. Look at Wise. Oh, Grand Theft Orange.
Yep, he's going to make sure that he, at least, I'm not going to be there for the turtle, so therefore I'm going to take all of your jungle while I'm down on the bottom side of the map. Make sure that at least there is some kind of cash flow working for Blacklist International. I will say, though, they were holding Edward quite a while up on that top side of the map. And by the way, Unbending Will.
That is a bending wheel, but now look at mid lane. RWM by Yue, but it's not going to be enough to save Oh My Venus. Leo gets another. Alpha gets on out of there. Not enough damage from Owl just yet. What's going on? Occupy's winning the last 2 or 3 big engagements here.
Yeah, you can see that being reflected to their economy, right? 1,200 gold lead already. And this is completely the opposite of what we expected from the drafting phase. Blacklist with the Beatrix, with the Faramis, and even the Eve, especially after level 4, should be able to have more say when these team fights go down. But what we're seeing is the exact opposite. How? How are they doing this?
I think a lot of this is to the testament of Leo, right? His mechanics are keeping him extremely sharp. He's maxing out his stacks just so when he does go in for the puncture, it really hurts, or even the Thorn Rose, right? For the rest of the team, and especially for Owl, he's got to play it a little safer because he knows that Occupy have hounded him on this bottom side.
Owl forces a flicker, but the DJ comes in. Owl didn't see that coming. He goes down. That's a kill going over to Occupy once more, and they're pressuring gold lane. Look at Oh My Venus and Wise. There's only so much they can do. Underneath, this tier 1 down bottom. Leo dives in. That's a fan execution spent in. Plus a puncture. Force the flicker from the Queen. Leo gets the kill. And there's the RWM by Yue. And they're still going to punish Wise. Vengeance going down. And here we go. Split from the glue. There's the final slash flickering on out. Occupy traded.
Oh, what a rotation here. They're calling in Alpha. They're calling in all the guns to make sure that whenever they make a movement, they can capitalize on it 120%. They're not leaving it to chance, and I feel like Blacklist, they're trying to be as hyper-efficient as they can, but a couple of missed mechanics, a couple of unfortunate positions, even with the RWM at times, you can see that maybe for the newcomers, the new bloods even, a little bit of nerves, but keep in mind, Edward is going to be looking to the rest of them. They're going to be trusting in the Queen's call overall to make sure that the team stays tight as possible. So it only gets better here on out for Blacklist International.
Yeah, it's insane to see the development, right, from both of these teams right now after those few team fights. But so far, it seems like Owl, who should be having a better time in the lane, is already behind. Like, you can even see it in the EXP disparity, and that's exactly what Occupy wants up until this stage, and it's looking bleak, especially now that both of these teams are going for the next objective.
That's a 2v2 up top. Turtle has been reset. That's the split already spent up. Edward knocking him up. There's the possession coming in, the pull onto Wise. Oh, Appraiser's Wrath coming in. There's another knock up. Turtle still standing, a third of its life in. And they are going to let go down bottom though. They pop the Queen once more. Kill going over to Speedy, but the Turtle goes over to Blacklist International.
You can see how they're dividing and conquering, and now Blacklist are starting to adapt, figuring out where the movements are going to be. But Occupy, they want to continue this oppression down on the bot side of the map. The fact is, Speedy is still alive. He's got quite the goal lead on his hands against Owl, who's just trying to survive.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, right? You're not accustomed to seeing this. Sure, has some damage here, but up until this point, she's not able to reach her power spike just yet.
Oh, the RWM keeping them where they need to be. Owl pops Speedy, and now from the west, there's another. Oh, that's a double for Owl. Oh, Smile was misplaced, and there's the Appraiser's Wrath and the knock-up. Still lacking the taunt, forcing out a flicker from Maro. Yue takes down the Kaja, and Leo is in trouble. There's a puncture on out, but look, Wise is gonna catch him, and will Wise finish? Oh, there it is. It's not enough. The taunt finally gets him down. Venus gets sweet revenge.
Yep, this is a collaborative effort coming in from Blacklist International right now. They've fully adjusted to how Occupy have been playing the game. They made these off-tempo plays. They didn't expect Occupy to kind of disrespect the protocols that we're all used to when it comes down to these neutral fights. And now that they've adjusted, the entire team has kind of realigned themselves, and the calls coming in for Oh My Venus, impeccable as always.
Oh no, that's a 3-man rotation up top. Down goes Agent Zero. Speedy gets a kill and a turret.
See, I love this, right? I love this back and forth. I love that Occupy are still able to trade back punches against Blacklist, who up until this point have actually taken back that economy lead. They have a turret in the top side, and now with 10 seconds remaining on the next neutral objective, both teams are going to go for it. But something to note is Wise and Leo are at the same level. Lancelot, Fredrin, who has a better chance getting that turtle?
Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, I would say that it's pretty 50-50 as of right now. Wise now has quite a clear advantage being the level up, but notice the positions from Occupy.
Oh, Wise comes in with a taunt and then knock off the final slash. Agent Zero pops one. Smile goes down. Now Maro out of position. Look at how deep Blacklist is. Oh no, but wait, they cornered off Maro. They're going in. Edward, can he get it? And that's gonna be it. Not gonna be enough to sustain, and now the Lord is up while Occupy are 2 men down.
This is not a good position, especially for Leo. He's gonna try 1v4, but it's looking real grim here.
Oh no, they're gonna pop him. Speedy makes the most of it down bottom. That's gonna be the Lord over the Blacks International, but they will have to concede this bottom lane tier, tier 1 turret.
And even then, it's not much of a loss, right? 2,000 gold lead already, and it's not just about the numbers, right? It's about the map control that they already have built for themselves. And one of the main things that Blacklist needs is that map control to utilize these pushes to be able to get into that back line and just prevent that damage from Smile from getting onto the members of Blacklist.
Yep, and now with the Lord pushing down on all sides, Lord Empowered Minions pushing it down from all sides, everywhere. Blacklist International, notice that the movements coming up from specifically Owl, he feels like he's going to get targeted again. And even for Edward, he doesn't mind too much, but at least with Wise, fishing for that information, knowing that at the very least, he can withstand the damage, and it doesn't really matter. He's got an early immortality, makes it even more of a reason why opening the map for him is going to be the best solution.
Interesting. An early immortality for the Fredrin at 9 minutes. Well, I wonder how many items he's built up. Now Blacklist threatening this mid lane tier 1. Look at the back line. The sandwich play from the duo. Edward and Wise now forcing a flicker away from Alpho as he goes for the split. And down bottom, it's Smile. Up top, it's Leo. Occupy seem to be scrambled.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they wanted to commit onto that, but they also wanted to look for something else on the map, but even that they weren't able to achieve it just yet. I'm curious to see what the items are looking like here. Whoa, 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 Venus is still able to get out, still set. Oh my god!
There's a knock up onto Alpha. He's not gonna live for long. Yue gets the kill, pushing back all of these members of Occupy behind their tier 2.
Man, that's a little unfortunate there. And this is why, especially when you have the Arlet and when you're side lanes, once you unlock him out of it, the mid tier 1s and tier 2s, as much as I would like to emphasize the tier 1 mid being one of the most important objectives on the map to give you access into the jungle, with Arlet's displacement, you can make dives from many different angles and you can make it work. Just remember, it goes from left to right.
Oh man, looking at the in-game equipment, right? Very aggressive from the mid laners. Right? I want to emphasize on this because most of the damage should rely on Xavier here in the mid-game before the carry reaches that item power spike, right? Only 2 items for him right now. Not enough damage in my opinion. It is going to feel onto Owl, but other than that...
They oblige Alpha. He wasn't expecting that much damage. They pop the XP laner. Now next... Oh, that's a concealed play. Look at this underneath. Leo might be off position. Smile goes down. But wait, can Owl survive? There's a final slash from Edward. And now Wise surviving. He does have the immortality. Watch out. Dashing on through. Oh, this is a messy engagement. Wise is separated from the rest of Blacklist. Here comes my Venus and Owl as well. They might pop Owl's immortality. The answer is no, he lives. Leo, though, at 1/10 of his health, they push tier 1.
They finally crack open that tier 1. Wise, he doesn't mind. He may be a little low, but the rest of his team should have more than enough damage. And with the passive, he's going to regenerate with not Sky Guardian's helmet, the Guardian's helmet, back to where he needs to be. But more importantly, do they really need this Lord? Personally, I don't feel like they want it. They want Occupy to walk out of their base. They want Occupy to get wiped out so they can finally finish this off. But notice that even Occupy don't want the Lord. They recognize that they could potentially lose a fight. Play to your strengths. You have a Kaja. Look for those angles.
Yeah, they want to be masters at baiting right now, right? They need to be able to bait Occupy to be able to get more on the board. And like you mentioned, they realize that Speedy just centralizes his focus on these objectives. Edward, the only one in the base to defend.
Oh, those are 3 3 big siege minions. Edward has to do some work. At least Blacklist have gotten something off map. All this while, Occupy was playing footsies across. Now, Maro, look at this. Does he know that there's this bush? Oh, rings of order and lightning bombs through. No engage here.
Oh man, I mean, he almost got snagged up mid-animation of the lightning bombs with the final slash coming in from Edward, just a pixel off from clipping him. But in the meantime, this is going according to Blacklist's plan, right? They wanted to play for that early game. Unfortunately, didn't go as well as they wanted to, but they can still recover from this. Occupy, on the other hand, if they can defend this upcoming Lord, make it to the 42k mark, at least we know that they have a chance in the later minutes. I'm guessing probably around the 16th minute is when you're going to see Occupy really hit that peak.
Yeah, to put it into basic words, they just need to buy time, right? They need to buy time for Speedy to get online, for Smile as well, because at the end, Xavier, despite everything, he does still deal that damage from a really long range. And look at that kiting as we head into a technical pause. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only going to take a while. Don't worry. Remember, fair play is our utmost priority. We want to make sure that both the players, just even the fans, you guys as well at home watching, get the best viewing experience and get the best playing experience as possible.
Let's slow it down a bit. I did not expect that explosive of a start from a lineup that we expected to scale.
Yeah, I thought so too. I definitely thought like, yeah, they're not going to get punished too hard with this. They're probably not going to go up to the blue lane, so the only place they could go down is bottom side, but I don't think anybody was expecting them straight off the bat at level 1. Maro is like, let's skew the favor of this fight. Let's make sure Owl feels as uncomfortable as possible. And if we can if we can just, cut the time to scale in half for Speedy specifically, our pickoff comp during the mid game just doubles in value. Oh, look at the agents here in Cambodia.
Man, I mean, we saw the agents in Indonesia, right? For M4 in Jakarta, and they were doing that much. And now they're here as well. Oh, the support for Blacklist is just amazing.
I can confirm there are some Filipinos who actually took a break off of work, who booked tickets to fly out to Phnom Penh, and I'm guessing that's who you're seeing on camera.
I also have to talk about the merch that they're giving out here, like the headbands with the crown as well. Genius idea, but at the same time, where do I get one?
Yeah, right? Can I get one?
Just outside.
Just outside?
Yeah? Is it free?
I'm guessing
Is it freebies?
there should be a Blacklist booth.
Oh, okay. We know what we're going to be doing later, but in the meantime, the troubleshooting will take in place, and we can start talking about the game a little bit more. I'm expecting it to be pretty much an obvious ping issue. Owl, his position right there, the fact that he was just taking it without sidestepping does beg a couple of questions, but let's have a look at a few words from Wise.
On representing NA for MSC, we can't underestimate any team in our group because the Philippines caster also said that it could be hard to go against Todak, wink wink. And Team Occupy almost beat RQ in M4, so we need to look out for everybody in our group. I did the wink wink for you, Gideon.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot.
Just so you know.
It might not necessarily be me, to be fair. It could also be LaFell.
Yeah,
at the
LaFell's
same
not here,
time.
though.
Or
I'll
me.
take it. Or even Leo for that
All
matter.
right, wink wink for Leo then.
Thank you. I'm a Todak fan,
Okay.
but also a Blacklist fan.
Now, I have a question,
I
right?
love ML.
We all do.
All right.
We all do. We
Question.
all love Mobile Legends.
Question.
Okay, yeah. Back to the question, right? With the disparity in gold and just objective disparity between Blacklist and Occupy, and you're saying that Occupy needs to buy time, is it still possible for them to get to a comeback?
I think they're going to have to sacrifice some inhibitors here, but let's jump back into the fight.
Whoa! Real world manipulation. Enough of a box to threaten the kill here. Eventually gets Maro, and there's an ult coming in from Owl. They do clear the wave. Occupy still breathing, and they take down the Lord as well, but there's still this huge wave crashing through. They did kill the minion, the siege minion. Down goes Smile, down goes Leo, Alpha as well. Where's Speedy? Defending down bottom. He's clearing that wave, but here comes Blacklist, making a beeline for the base. Ladies and gentlemen, what a statement from the M3 World Champions. They wiped out Occupy, but they're still breathing. Maro here, a little too hasty there.
Yeah, Speedy gave up his life just to get rid of that low minion, and now Maro himself might have to do the same, but the collapsing of the waves!
RWM, Maro gets his immortality popped, and just like that, Blacklist takes game 1.
Wow, Blacklist lead the series here. Best of 3, and it's funny, right? I asked you the question, is it still possible? And right as we come back from the pause, you can see Blacklist just obliterating Occupy there in the top lane. What a performance. What just the way, oh man, Blacklist still in form.
Yeah, they are still in form there, but man, the timing of that tech pause could not have been any worse. Like, yes, it is a technical issue, but Maro had also flickered into the middle to try and catch Owl at the same time, and yet Maro ends up dying there for basically nothing. So